These new smoothie mix Skittles are delicious.
I know. 2 different flavors blended together in each one.
How can they blend together 2 things as different as an orange and a mango? It's unbelievable.
What about peach pear? A peach blended together with a pear? Now that's an unusual combination.
You two sheep boys, stop that jibber jabbing. Blend the rainbow.
Blend the rainbow. You two sheep boys, stop that jibber jabbing. Corey said, hey, wow, that's the same thing they do over at the Gene Rebel channel. They all call me JJ. I know why. J is 10. 1010 is House of Bell.
Who is that?
Who's this?
This is JJ.
Oh, so you're JJ. Hey, what's happening, my man?
Knock it off, JJ. I told Ernie everything about us.
Now, I'm gonna be getting out y'all's way. And I'm sorry if I interrupted anything.
Oh, no, you didn't interrupt anything. Anytime you feel like coming in, come on in. Any husband of Barbara's is a friend of mine.
Hey, thanks, JJ. Thanks, bro.
Okay.
How can they blend together 2 things as different as an orange and a mango? It's unbelievable.
What about peach pear?
Okay, right there when the guy says, what about peach pear? I recognize that a lot of times they'll do 2 words that start with the same letter. And it always, when I say always, the times that I've sought it out, when I recognize that's just weird. It doesn't make sense. Why did he go peach pear? Jibber jabbing. Stop that jibber jabbing. Ready? Let's look it up. 16. Let's see. No. 10. Stop that jibber jabbing. I'm sorry. Here we go. Ready? 1010. House of Bell. There it is. Because they are the House of Bell for light and dark. That's what, see, your body is, before you get converted, is the temple of Satan, because one eye goes up, one eye goes down, and who, the prince of the power of the air, Satan, rules over the host body system. So you are the house of Baal.
And that's what they call me at that guy's channel, whatever it is, Gene Rebel, yeah, where Karen and Kathy ended up, wallowing around with the pigs in the mud. That's just insane. It is insane.
Right here, watch this. Here it is, look. House of Baal, the habitation. Okay, Baal is the devil. House of Baal. See it? Beth Baal Meon. That's just insane. That is just insane, you guys.
Wow, JJ. Are you really still running around and getting caught up over names and monikers? And now all of a sudden, the little nickname that I picked out for you a long time ago, it's been scrutinized and analyzed, clear down to the point where you're saying that the name JJ means 1010, which means the house of Baal, or the house of Satan. And you can keep on thinking that if you want to, JJ. Actually, it's kind of interesting that you and Corey and the gang would be spending so much time on monikers and names. Especially when you could be using that time to dig deeper into the questions that we've been asking of you. And I do mean we, Jonathan. Do you think that it's just me who has questions for you, Kleck? No. Nope. I'm not the only so-called nutbag out here who thinks that you need to explain yourself. There's a multitude of us now. And since it seems that you were so generous to send a heap more our way, I think that list of questions for you, JJ, well, I think that it might just keep on growing. Time will tell. But at least this time you were able to get the definition of Baal right. I'm proud of you, JJ. This means that you're growing. Remember the last time that you tried to deceive everybody by telling them that a certain number meant Baal? Remember, JJ? You said that you can read their language. But you never explained to everybody that you were switching out the definitions that were assigned to each number.
And 1177, let me show you what it means. It means Baal is gracious. Let me show you Baal. Baal is who they sacrificed all the children to. The devil. See? The devil holding the baby. They're sacrificing children to Baal. They would go throw them into the fire, screaming babies. Throw them in a hot burning pan to Baal. That's who Baal is.
So it all boils down to where I caught our little 100% no lying harbinger lying and deceiving his backside off.
Dynamite!
And once again, we see another sign where it all boils down to JJ chasing that parthenogenesis doctrine. And if you want to see exactly just how Jonathan did it, just keep watching. And that means you too, JJ. It's never too late to learn. Hey everybody. I wanted to make this as short as possible, but I was a little over halfway done listening to Kleck's latest gem of a video, and I wanted to make sure that I pointed out a glaring mistake that JJ made. I think he did it just to make his whole dinosaur gene kick that he's been on look a little more exciting. So I'm going to play this little clip for you. It's only about a minute and a half long, and then I'll show you Kleck's sleight of hand on the other side.
Also known as Raptor, or Kia 1303 is an adapter protein that is encoded in humans by the Raptor gene. 2 messenger RNAs from the gene have been identified that encode the proteins of 1335 isoform 1 and 117 isoform 2. Let me show you. 1335, a piece, a part of, because it is part of the system. Let me show you what the other number is. 1177 and 1177 isoform 2. So think of sheep and raptor. Isoform 1 is a piece of, and 1177, let me show you what it means. It means Baal is gracious. Let me show you Baal. Baal is who they sacrificed all the children to. The devil. See? The devil holding the baby. They're sacrificing children to Baal. They would go throw them into the fire, screaming babies. Throw them in a hot burning pan to Baal. That's who Baal is. Okay? That's what those numbers are in right here.
Yep. Okay then. What he did right here, because JJ can read their language, he went and took 2 numbers and supposedly looked up the definitions for you. The first number was 1335, which he said meant a part of, and I can agree with that. Good job, JJ. But this is where he tries to trick you into thinking that it's something that it really isn't. I think they call that deception, if I'm not mistaken, JJ. But the second number was 1177. And then quick as lightning, he says, and let me show you what it means. And he says, it means Baal is gracious.
And 1177, let me show you what it means. It means Baal is gracious.
And I'm with him so far. But right here is where he screws over the unsuspecting. Because then he decides that it's going to be much better for his little story if he deviates from the true intended definition of Baal, meaning a master or a husband, and then he swerves right on over and inserts the Baal, which is the Phoenician deity, the one that he had already had the pictures prepared to bring up, the ones that showed all those human sacrifices. And don't get me wrong, that's a totally sick deity, I get it. But it has nothing at all to do with the number that Kleck looked up. Nothing at all. Kleck pulled the old switcheroo here because he knows that he can get away with it. And this is exactly what I mean. You can usually tell when he's up to his no-good trickery, because that's when he'll stray away from his trusty E-sword program, and I think that's exactly why he did it this time. Because when you go into the Old Testament and look up the word Baal, there are 2 different definitions that you're going to find. you're going to find H1167, which is the root word of the word we're looking at right here, H1177. And you're going to find H1168, which is the Phoenician deity, the one that Kleck was all gung-ho to pull up. But when you look at the root of the word again for 1177, it says H1167, which means master or husband or owner. It doesn't mean deity. And I don't care how much Kleck wants it to be H1168. That's not what's listed here. You're not trying to imply that your precious eSword program is wrong, are you, Johnny? Because there are so many words that you use from there, and you shove them straight down our throats as if this program was written by the Lord God himself. So I guess turnabout's a fair play, right? So that would mean that you're using the wrong definition, Kleck. Now you can go on crying and moaning as long as you want to. And go on saying that Baal means the devil, which it can mean devil. I already agreed with you on that, but not in this case. Nope. You tried to shove it in there, but H1167 is much closer to H1166, and not 1168 like you want it to mean. And even though that may not sound very significant when I say that, it's a big, big deal, JJ. That is, unless you're prepared to call the Lord God the devil. Are you prepared to call the Lord God the devil, Kleck? So let's find out. Let me read Jeremiah 31, verse 32, and then you can tell me. Not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers in the day that I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt, which my covenant they break, although I was a husband unto them, saith the Lord. Look at that. I was a husband. H1166. It means husband. It means married. The same as H1167, in which H1177 came from. Not the deity Baal. The husband Baal. The master Baal. You said it was important to know your definitions, JJ. Don't you think that you should start following your own advice? Learn your definitions. And just to make this as clear as I can, H1177 is the word in question here, and it's a proper name of someone who's a king. And we see that the definition for this word actually stems from two words. One of them being the word Baal, H1167, and since Baal is the word in question here, it's the only one I'm going to mess with. So let's go over and look at that definition. And when we do, we see that it means master, husband, or an owner. And when you actually looked at the verses that were referenced, they didn't describe anything that had to do with a deity that was used for human sacrifices. But this next part is probably the most telling, because right here it says from. It says from the word 1166. And that was the word that I read from Jeremiah that described the Lord God as a husband. It didn't describe him as the devil, did it? No, it didn't. And that's why it says that H1167 is from H1166 and not H1168. But there are too many good examples I need to lay out there, so once I'm finished, there shouldn't be any reason for not understanding what I'm talking about. I mean, that is unless you're delusional, JJ. Let's read Judges 8:33. And it came to pass, as soon as Gideon was dead, that the children of Israel turned again, and went a-whoring after Balaam, and made Baal-berith their god. Oh, there's two uses. You can see where it says Baal-berith, H1170. Let's see what that definition is, because it looks like it's a name too, being all one long word like that. And what do we see? It says from H1168, which is from the deity god Baal, Baal of the covenant. It's not from H1167, like the word that we're dealing with. And what about Baal-gad, Jonathan? H1171. When we click on that, we see that it's a place, and that it's stemming from two words as well. But when we see Baal, we can see that it's clearly using H1168, Baal of Fortune. So doesn't it appear to you that they knew which Baal numbers that they wanted to use in their descriptions of the words? When they wanted it to mean Baal the deity, they used 1168 in their definitions. And when they didn't want it to mean Baal the deity, they used 1167. And here's another perfect example. Baal Haman, H1174. So we click on that, and again we see that it's a name. But they're using Baal 1167, which is not the deity god. Is everybody seeing how this works? And so everybody can see why Jonathan veered away from his E-sword concordance in order to bring you whatever description he could as fast as he could. See, I don't understand. You said that it was the Lord God who taught you how to do all this. Did he lead you to the H1177 number and then tell you that they really meant that it was the deity Baal? Like this one right here. I know that you've heard of Beelzebub, JJ, the god of Ekron. See how it's used as a name? Just like Baal Shannon, H1177, the word that you twisted all around. And it's going to be made up of two words as well, with one of them being Baal. But which one? And there we see it. From 1168. Baal of the fly. Beelzebub. A special deity. See, it says deity. I mean, you're good, Kleck, I must say. You're like one of those smooth criminals, aren't you? And I know that a lot of your trickery, it's escaped me over the past, but I'm starting to pick up on all your tells. Yeah, you're just like one of those poker players that think they're hot because they figured out a way to beat the system. But everybody has a tell, JJ. And as of late, I've been noticing that your tells, they've been telling on you a lot. A guilty conscience, maybe? No, not our Johnny. Or H1178, Baalchatzor. See? H1167, possessor of a village. Or H1179, Baal Hermon, possessor of Hermon. Again, H1167. It's used to mean possessor. And let me finish out with this one, Jonathan, because I'm still wanting to know if you're calling the Lord God a devil. Hosea 2:16. And it shall be at that day, saith the Lord, that thou shalt call me Ishi, and shalt no more call me Baali. Look at that. That's from 1167. My master, Baali. But what do we see? A symbolical name of Jehovah. What? Help me out here if you could, Jonathan. Does that say a symbolical name of Jehovah? Or does it say a symbolical name for the devil? Because it says right there from 1167. But you want to make that number to mean Baal, the flesh-sacrificing deity. Are you still under that impression? I mean, sorry everybody, but I have to pound this home. Let me put H1177 back up there. Now this is the word in question, right, Jonathan? This is the word that you say means the evil deity god Baal, right? But when I first put up this definition, I skimmed over the meaning for H2608, and we pretty much focused in on Baal 1167. But now I want to make sure that everybody knows what it means. And then I want to ask Kleck a question. Okay, here we go. 2608 means. Well, looky there, JJ. It means Yah has favored. And it has H3050 there, so let's take a quick peek. Wow. Man, I wished I had you here live, Johnny, so I could ask you to read that out loud. But I'll be more than happy to help you out. It says, Yah, contracted for H3068, and meaning the same. Yah, the sacred name. Yah, the Lord, most vehement. Well, I'll be. Contracted for H3068. I mean, and you already know what H3068 means, so I don't even have to pull that word up. But I'm feeling generous today, Johnny, so yeah, let me pull that up for everybody so we can see. What do we see? We see Yahweh from 1961. Look at that. The self-existent or eternal Jehovah. Jewish national name of God. Jehovah, the Lord. Now, I just want to make sure that didn't say that it was the Jewish national name of the devil. It doesn't say that, does it, Johnny? It says the Jewish national name of God, Jehovah. So H1177, when we looked at those two words that make it up, are you trying to honestly say that the first half of the word means the devil, but then the second half of the definition means Yah has favored, or Jehovah is favored? Because that's exactly what you're doing here. You're deceiving people by making them think that certain words mean something evil, when in actuality, they're nowhere close to what you're trying to compare them to. It's exactly like your water equals semen doctrine, or your woman means adulterous nymphomaniac strategy. And both of those are going to be addressed here in the near future. It's just that you keep me so busy with all this piddly crap that it seems like I get sidetracked all the time. So I guess that's a pretty good strategy to use for you there, JJ. Boy, it sure is a good thing that you just performed one of those backroom bibliomancy book sessions the other day, where you asked the Lord God to confirm to you that you were blameless in all your teachings. I mean, that was exciting. And lo and behold, you came back in front of the camera just in time to tell everybody that the Lord said that you indeed were blameless. You even had a picture of the word He showed you from the book.
And then I was sitting here and I said, how cool would it be if I was just to cast a lot and it was, say, blameless, so I could have that ultimate peace. I got up and I walked in that other room and I cast a lot, and I'll go grab it and show it. I got it on my phone. I photographed it. It said blameless. Sorry. See, it says blameless, free from sin.
But I really didn't need you to prove it to me with a picture, JJ. You just telling me that you're blameless, that's all I would have needed. Now, I hope that I'm going to see some kind of retraction on this mistake of yours, Kleck. Because if I continue to see you using this in your next couple videos, especially after you've been told about it, I'm going to drill it into every head that I can get a hold of and show everybody I possibly can exactly who and what you are. Okay then, have a nice day, JJ.
See, it says blameless, free from sin.
Maxine is the lady who's feeling all right, thanks to the magic kid Dynamite!
Junior, where you been? Dinner was 3 hours ago.
Oh, forget him, James. He's an idiot.
Mama, what's wrong with you?
What's wrong with me? My name is Florida. Florida. That's the name of a state. Why is my name Florida? Oh.